one of the other things that we've also really both have much in common is anime and manga.
Okay.
So moving from poetry now to anime and manga, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your introduction, first off, to anime. What was your introduction to anime? What was the thing that got you into anime in the beginning?
Okay, anime now.
Yes.
We're going deep in this.
Anime, yes.
All right, so technically, my first anime, right, that I got exposed to was Dragon Ball. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. One of my biggest inspirations. Really got me into it. Remember watching it with my brother Toyin and my cousins. All my friends were into Dragon Ball, so you couldn't escape that Dragon Ball hype back in the 2000s. You couldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
You couldn't. But my first anime, I remember. I don't know if you remember the program. Milkshake. The
Yes.
UK,
UK one. Yeah.
the UK one.
Yeah.
There was this teenage preteen one called Shake. And the first one that they aired was the Blade 2000s anime. And that was the first anime I've watched. The first one that I really got engaged into it.
Do you remember what you thought when you first saw it?
I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. Bro, you got Tyson, right?
Yeah.
With the Dragoon. I was like, man, I want to be like him.
Yeah.
And all my friends used to be like, oh, I want to be like Kai. I want to be like Ray. I want to be like Max. I remember when I was growing up, my parents used to buy me the Blade. And the first Blade I got was the Dragoon Blade of the Tyson main character, because I like Tyson so much. I remember my brother had it was the Shark Blade. I can't even remember. It was from one of the animes anyway. And then my cousin, he had the Drizzle. No, not Drizzle. Drigger. So he had those blades. So we used to collect them. We used to play Blade matches with our friends and stuff. And I had a friend named Brigham. Shout out to Brigham too. He was a big fan of Blade as well. So we used to play Blade all the time. We watched the anime. When it was so brand new, we used to wait months for the episodes to come out. Like, I remember watching it was from 2000 until 2002.
I can imagine, bro.
So imagine waiting 2 years for these episodes to come out compared to streaming services now.
Imagine Attack on Titan, but yeah.
So I followed Blade until its end. I watched a bit of the second series. I don't really remember much of it. But I do remember in 2004, 2003, I watched Blade G Revolution. It was the final one that came out. I remember watching it consistently on the TV back in the day. I remember watching the final episode as it came out. And I just remember feeling like, man, it's over. Like, my brain was like, well, is it done? No. It's the same with, like, Dragon Ball when you see, like, the Majin Buu saga. Before Super, right? So you're just like, yeah, Goku's journey's over. Like, so that was my introduction to anime.
That's a bit
in its entirety with Blade. That's where it started.
Okay, I'll go off that. And we will get more into anime. But yeah, I'll sort of speak for answer my question first. So my introduction into anime, you'll know about this anime. It's Ultimate Muscle. So I remember, just like you, on Kicks. Kicks was the channel that I used to watch a lot when I was a kid. And I remember one time they had this anime pop up, and like you know the beginning. To outer space, ultimate muscle, you're gonna go to the human race, ultimate muscle. That from then on, I was hooked. I was hooked from that first opening song, because it was just incredible. Like, I've never seen anything like it. Like you were saying, it's like these cartoons, and like he was developing, and like I think you educated me today. It was a gangman guy at the beginning, but I just loved for the fact that it was comedy, but also like action. It had these characters, these cool characters. You had like Kevin Mask, you obviously had like Kid Muscle. You had like all these, like that German guy. Remember that German guy? Shade, yeah. He went from all that different arc that they had and all these different people.
It's called the Red Rain of Pain.
And the finishing moves, and like I think I was a big wrestling fan before. So this was like the perfect mix of like all the things I loved. And like WWE, take exactly WWE. I was like, oh man. So ever since then, I've loved anime, and I talk about anime a lot on this podcast because it's something that's deeply close to my heart. And I know that you love it too. So actually, moving on, having both established we both love anime, I have some anime questions for you. Cool. Deep anime questions. So if you want to hold on to that. Okay, and if you could just put the mic here a little bit, because I want you to hold on to it, but I want to ask you some questions about which animes you prefer of those two.
Sure.
First is JJK versus Chainsaw Man. Tell me which one you prefer and why.
Okay. For the first one, I'm gonna say I like both.
You can't. You have to pick one. I know.
Okay,
I'm sorry. But you have to pick one.
okay. All right. On a serious level,
Yes.
JJK.
Go on.
Reason why? Reminds me of Bleach. Domain expansion, Bankai, Shikai, curse techniques, right? It just reminds me of that Bleach vibe, though. When I first read it, the manga in 2018, because I remember I read the first chapter on the Shonen Jump app when it came out, I was like, this is full on Bleach vibes. Like, I'm vibing with this. Like, Yuji's like Ichigo. Like, damn, I'm vibing with this. So, even though I love Chainsaw Man as equally as much, JJK just reminded me of that old time when I got into Bleach back in 2006, and then watching the anime years ago, and then binging it when I was really, really young, when I was 13, 14. So it just gave me that Bleach vibe again.
Okay, so tell me why you like Chainsaw Man, because I know you also like that. I'm not going to be mean.
Chainsaw Man, right. Chainsaw Man, right. I liked it because it reminded me a lot of Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino. Okay, now, hot take. I don't like the guy that much. But the movies that I do like is Kill Bill and Reservoir Dogs. One of my favorite films from him. To date, okay? And Django Unchained, that's another good one. So, it reminded me a lot of his movies like Kill Bill. It just gave me a lot of Kill Bill vibes when I read it. So I was like, damn. 97 chapters. Denji's going through multiple things. Sort of like what the bride has to go through. So it just reminds me of the bride's journey. When I think of Chainsaw Man, I think of, Denji's going through what the bride's going through. All the trauma and everything. And he has to find his purpose in the world. Sort of like what the bride does with revenge. And Makima Makima's my favorite character because he's such a deep... Because he was actually inspired by Fooly Cooley, actually. With that story of the anime. So, it really reminded me a lot of those older animes like Neos Javelin and all those ones, and the aesthetic of it as well.
I agree. I'd go off that. I think to answer my own question, I'm not going to be mean. I'll answer these questions myself. Even though I love JJK, I would say Chainsaw Man. Okay. And I think I'll be full on honest. I've not finished JJK, so that's a very big reason why I'm choosing JJK. Because I'm choosing Chainsaw Man, sorry. Because I'm not finished. I'm not caught up to date. I'm where the anime is. Obviously, the manga's still continuing.
Nearly 20 volumes.
Nearly 20. Incredible.
Part 2.
It's incredible. But yeah, I love Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man to me was such a unique manga. It was like it kind of separated himself because I've seen Fire Punch, and Fire Punch was one of my favorite mangas before. It was so different, so crazy, so philosophical. But like Chainsaw Man took it to another level, but also maintained its ability to be like
back and Goodbye Eri too.
Literally,
I've read Fujimoto's one-shots.
Yeah.
And all his work.
Yeah.
I can see why people like him because the philosophical stuff and the symbolism is just on another level.
And it's crazy, and he's able to combine.
It reminds me of Vagabond. Very subtle and simplistic stuff. You won't get it the first time.
You gotta read it again.
But when you read it again, you're like, oh, I get this now.
And the paneling and the ability to tell the story and like all these things. So that's why I chose Chainsaw Man. Yeah. But the next one, let's keep going. Yeah. So next one is JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, all of them, or Attack on Titan, all of the other seasons.
Okay. It's an easy pick. JoJo. Look. I'm not... Okay.
I'm going to argue here. Go on.
Okay. So, history with me. Yeah. I did read the manga years ago when it was still... The anime was still a thing. I only like it because there's different protagonists and my brother used to watch the anime. He's a big JoJo fan. So...
JoJo's incredible.
JoJo... Araki he's a beast.
It's actual genius.
Bro, every part feels unique from each other. I mean, I don't like part 1 that much, but you can see the seeds as his writing gets better and better and better. It kind of reminds me of early Shaman King, right? With the slow progression, you see the ideas seep in here and there, and then it expands into its whole philosophy, characters going through places like Jotaro is basically going through what Asakura's going through in Shaman King, atonement. Finding peace in himself and also mastering the importance of being a king of the shamans, right? In a world that is so chaotic and everything. So I would pick JoJo's for that one.
I mean, I can't disagree with what you just said. The only difference I would say is that I personally believe Attack on Titan anime is probably the best anime ever made. I think from season 1 to 3 and from to 4, 3 part 2. It's 5 now, yeah, exactly, because they made a movie. But like honestly, Attack on Titan, I think it has everything an anime could wish for.
I mean,
Fight scenes.
to be honest, with Attack on Titan, right? I'm not the biggest fan of Attack on Titan.
No.
But I respect Ishiyama's like writing. But for me, maybe it's just the halfway point. I just didn't vibe with that much. I like the ending though. There's so many things you can get from it. But when I read it, I felt like it wasn't that type of story, especially when Eren turned
villain, basically.
Turned villain.
Yeah.
And then I can understand why Ishiyama did it. But for me, it just felt off. We know much about Eren, and the slow downfall, but was it earned?
I think that's subjective for everyone, right? Because I think the Eren's character development, to give the other perspective, right? I think Eren's character development from seeing what he was as a kid and when he goes older, it's like when it switches, you go, oh, it was always there. There was seeds of that kid. Yeah. We just saw it as like, oh, he's just a little kid. He was saying he's going to kill everyone at like 13 years old. And when he gets older, you can see more and more people using him, people like abusing him, and he changes that.
I understand the appreciation of Attack on Titan. I understand the hype. I read the manga when it first came out. Yeah. I was intrigued when its first few chapters came out. It's only the halfway point. I felt like Ishiyama, he knew what he wanted to do, but he kind of forgotten the other characters. Like the other characters were kind of sidelined. They were more interesting.
That's fair. That's a fair criticism.
Like Histoire, especially Mikasa.
Yeah.
Armin, especially.
Yeah. You're right.
And then Connie and all those guys. Fascinating characters in their own right, and they were just shafted because Eren got more of the focus. I'm not trying to say Attack on Titan's bad. I like it because I've read the manga multiple times. It's just the way Ishiyama handled his characters, and he put them in certain situations, and then he just completely forgot about them. And it just became the Eren screaming show, kind of.
But fair enough.
With Levi, he got all the development regardless of happening.
Everything was right, bro. Everything was right. Levi was like a badass character, and I completely agree with you. But okay, next one. Yeah. Tokyo Ghoul or Mob Psycho 100?
Easy.
Go on.
Mob Psycho.
Why? Why do you say that?
Not because One Punch Man, obviously, but such a unique story. Mental health struggle. Shingo with the anxiety and everything, coming to terms with his power, his brother learning psychic powers. Such a fun story. It's not even a show. Well, it is a shonen.
It's more deep than a
shonen. But it's a slice of life, but adding shonen stuff to it. But it's not the core focus. I think you just like the fact that it covers Shingo's anxiety, and also he has a love interest, which throughout the manga, if you've read the whole thing, you see Shingo getting confidence, and then he gets rejected, and he's like, you know what? At least I've done it, and that's the ending of the story. And you're just like, Riga's like, there'll be other girls out there. Regan's character is just, he's a fraud, but you know what?
He's a good guy.
You love it.
He's a good guy.
He's doing it not only for himself, but also to help Mob become a better person.
Yeah.
People always hate Reagan because he's like, he's a bit of a dick, but he does care about Mob. He wants what's best for him because he went through a similar thing. Because if you watch the whole anime in its entirety, you would know Regan didn't want to do this. He kind of just did it because he wanted to make a life for himself, and he also wanted to go against his parents and stuff. But he doesn't want Mob to go through similar things like he did. And that's the whole point of Mob Psycho.
I love that. And I actually agree. So next one. This is probably a little bit harder. So we have Fullmetal Alchemist, Brotherhood, or Vinland Saga.
I love them both.
I know.
But as much as I love Vinland Saga, we gotta go with the Full Metal. First off, the anime opening of the 2003 anime Melissa. My God.
Bro. How does it go again?
Kikimoke no hamashimite omakimi no iwoku wo hamashimito.
I'm sorry, that's so cool.
Good, yeah.
That's so cool. But yeah, go on. Why Fullmetal Alchemist?
One of the few mangas I read, like I read in the local library, it was the one manga I followed religiously. I watched the anime, and I really, really engaged with it a lot. And Brotherhood was, while it was good.
Come on, bro. Brotherhood's better.
Brotherhood. Okay. I'll give you this. Fullmetal Alchemist is really good. its adaptations are just on another level, okay? Brotherhood expands.
Exactly.
It expands the source material to another level.
And the animation in Brotherhood, because it's a little bit more updated than the other one,
Bro.
just takes it to another level.
No, it's by Studio Bones.
Which is like, but Bones is like, I think one of the best studios, I think.
Bro, the same people that did My Hero, same people that did Soul Eater, which is full on vibes in itself.
Literally, incredible.
Hey, incredible. Something else.
Yes.
Something else.
Yeah.
But that's what I'll pick, Full Metal.
Full Metal. I mean, literally, we could spend a whole episode of each one of these, and we talked about doing this, but we're actually going to run through these quickly because we want to get to some other ones. So, next one, Samurai Champloo or Cowboy Bebop?
To be honest, I used to hate Cowboy Bebop for a long time. I never used to like it. Read the manga, thought it was garbage. I'm doing this for the pod, okay?
Fine, bro.
Don't criticize me.
I'm not criticizing you. I'm interested. I'm just fascinated.
But I don't like Samurai Champloo either, but if I can pick one, Samurai Champloo.
Really? Why don't you like... Have you seen the anime for both?
I've seen both. Yes.
Okay, what... Tell me which one you prefer, and also if you Samurai Champloo, but why don't you like them?
Okay. So the reason why I didn't like Samurai Champloo, it was very slow. It takes a long time to get to the whole point. But listen, it's a journey. But I didn't understand those things back then when I was watching anime.
That's very fair. That's okay, fine.
Because I grew up with Bleach and Dragon Ball. When I grew up, when I was, if you were a kid like me who grew up with Naruto, Dragon Ball, and all that, you expected that.
Yes.
But when I read Champloo, I was like, what is this nonsense?
Yeah.
But as I grew older, I started to appreciate it. And if you don't know the Boondocks, which takes heavy inspiration of Champloo from its music and its animation, okay, I started to realize, okay, this is something.
This is goated, yeah.
But before I even watched Champloo, I remember listening to the soundtrack. I didn't even know where it was from. And it's only when I vibed with the music and I saw it where it came from, I was like, you know what? This anime's got good stuff. You know, I would have preferred Afro Samurai, but that's even a better version of what it was from Samurai Champloo.
Ooh, okay. So I'll go off. But the reason Afro Samurai is not in there because I've not seen Afro Samurai, but I've seen both these two, and I'm telling you, like, I love both of them. I love Samurai Champloo because, like you said, the music is on another level. I love the whole story too. Those three, and they just go on a journey, and then obviously when they separate.
Samurai Champloo is basically Kanye West's Heartless album.
Literally,
it's basically that.
It's like, and I think that's why it's so influential because like Kanye West's Heartless album is the most influential album I think we speak about. Oh, we'll get into that. We'll get to that. That's the next one. Next one. So last one we have on here, probably the hardest one, but Dragon Ball or Bleach.
Dragon Ball shouldn't even been on this list. Just saying.
Go on.
But if I have to pick, we gotta go with Bleach. I'm only excluding Dragon Ball because I like it so much, just as equally as Bleach. But Bleach, it got me into poetry. Coolest characters. The best soundtrack in anime at the time, okay? Even with the latest anime, okay? With the third core. Which is banging, by the way.
I've not seen it. I need to watch it.
Okay. So, it introduced me to a lot of its music. I developed a lot of my anime crosses from that anime, believe it or not. Orihime, good lord. I tell you. She was my crush back then when I watched it, okay?
Yeah.
Nell.
Who's your favorite Bleach character?
Oh, it's so hard.
I know.
If you want my favorite female character in its entirety, Nell. Nell 2. 100% favorite female character. If we're talking about favorite male character, Urahara Kisuke. He was just full on vibes, okay? The hat, the guy's mysterious. When he's serious, okay? He's serious, alright? And his Shikai was so cool. Come on.
Bro, that's so many cool characters. Zanpakuto, like Kenpachi, like all of the characters are insane.
Alright, okay, you know what? Just to be fair, I'll give you a list of my top 5 favorite male.
Go on.
Okay. Urahara's number 1. Injigo, main character. Bukiya, yes, Bukiya.
Which one's Bukiya again?
Rukia's brother.
Okay, yeah.
Then we have Toshiro Hitsugaya, the Ice Bokuto Zabimaru book. No, not Zabimaru, Hirimaru. And then the 5th one, this is a tough one.
Kenpachi, you know Kenpachi's not on your list? He's the most badass.
I know. And then you've got the Visors.
Ooh, okay.
Love is one of my favorite characters from the Visors.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing glasses, bro. He's got a Tengu Maru sword. Like, what is this? I could have picked Kuryaku, but
Yeah. What do you think about Aizen as a villain?
he's the one that's inspired Kenjaku from JJK. So you can't, like, Aizen is a really, really cool villain, especially when you go deep into the manga, which I won't spoil.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things in Bleach make sense as to why he does the things he does. So it really puts in perspective. And this is where I got into serious villains with complex themes, and Kubo was really, really smart with it, man. Like, he was on another level, so Aizen's a good villain.
I think, dude, like, you honestly, like, the more you speak, the more I know that we have to do another one of these just completely focused on anime and, like, characters and villains, because I know you could go so much more, and I know you're holding back, so thank you so much for that. But, okay, cool. Next one. Moving on from anime into mangas, I want you to quickly just rank these kind of, these mangas that I have here. So first we got Air Gear, first we got Vagabond, then Berserk, then One Piece, then D Grey Man. Rank them and tell me why you put them in the order.